Okay, good morning, girls, and welcome to our reading lesson today on the use of prepositions. Now, this is something you've already done in grammar, extensively done in grammar. And if you remember, you should remember, and when I was teaching the lesson on prepositions in grammar, I pointed out to you that although the lesson at that time paid attention to using preposition in terms of location, showing direction, or place of something, I told you that the use of prepositions go way beyond what we learned or what we already did as at that time. I told you that you're going to also come across the using prepositions in terms of prepositional phrases on the sentence structure. Okay? Now that's a different thing, but just as a reminder, to remind you of when I told you that prepositions go way beyond just using them to indicate location or places of things. Now, today's lesson on preposition is going to include using preposition to show the location of something or the place of something and much more. Now, for those of you who pay very close attention to my lessons, all the different kinds of explanation I give uh, in my teaching, especially the ones that make me allude to certain things, even though unrelated or directly related to what we're learning, but somehow connected. You will also bear witness to the fact that several times in the past, I've mentioned the word collocation. Collocation. Now, what we're going to learn today is related to it. Although you're going to see that the textbook in the key point hasn't specifically mentioned the word collocation, but that is the heading or topic to put it in a nutshell of another way we use prepositions. Okay, what is collocation? Collocation are basically two or more words that go together in English language. Now, you don't in collocation. Prepositions are not the only parts of speech that we use. Collocation you can collocate verbs and prepositions, you can collocate adjectives and prepositions, you can also collocate prepositions and nouns, and so many other variations of collocation. But I'm mentioning collocation because in our lesson today on the use of preposition, the key point has pointed out using collocating prepositions and verbs. Now, another important thing for you to remember to help you, to reduce the tension or to avoid your feeling confused or overwhelmed in today's lesson is remind yourself that when we learned preposition in grammar, I told you that when it comes to the use of prepositions, they generally, most of the time, there are no rules to follow. Most of these things, the best way to learn a preposition is in context. And when I say in context, I mean practice. If you're not a native speaker, the best way to help yourself is practice and practice and practice as much as you can. Pick out all those words or sentences or contexts where prepositions have been used. Study them so that when similar contexts arise or similar circumstances arise, you remember, oh, that's true. I've seen this preposition used in this context in 2 or 3 times before, and now I know this is what I should do here. All right. The use of preposition that generally follows a rule or a pattern are the ones uh, uh, that have the refer to location. Those ones, they usually have definite rules. For example, you say at. When you're using the preposition at, you're referring to a specific place or a specific time. Okay. Or when you're referring to the preposition on, as in using it to indicate location, that means something that is placed on a surface above something and touching the surface. Or when you say below, meaning below, in lower position to the thing you're referring to. Now, those prepositions referring to location or place of something, they usually follow definite rules, okay, with few exceptions, of course. But when it comes to using prepositions in collocations, either combining prepositions and verbs or combining prepositions and nouns, there are no rules. And this is where it gets a little tricky. And this is where you only have to learn in context, learn by practicing, practice and practice as many times as you can, so that when you see similar or familiar circumstances, you know exactly what to say, you know exactly what to do. All right. So, with all that introduction I've given, I'm going to go in and analyze the key point and see how I'll be able to help you understand as as much as you can from here. All right.